I'm done. You guys can run the meeting.
That was amazing. Well, yeah,
Some point out.
stuck with it. There you go.
One push. One button.
Okay. Now I have to read a certain little, guess I have to call this to order. Because Brian's not gonna be here. I have to read a script.
Does it say it's being recorded?
Yes,
Say that?
Yes.
yeah.
I think it's okay to call the meeting to
To
order
order,
and
okay.
indicate,
We're meeting here.
and just indicate who's on the Zoom for the LSC. And then the rest
Well,
of
we gotta
them here.
let Warren in.
Yeah. Warren's
Wasn't he
there.
already?
Just Warren.
Roberta's in as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm,
Warren is.
Warren.
he's also gonna be Warren too. Right, so we're finally calling the meeting of the Land Stewardship Committee to order at 7:16 PM. We're meeting both hybrid and in person. The members that are online are Warren Lyman and Penny, who's also in person. And then in person are Adam, Judy, Alex, Shane, and Chris and Claudia. Yourself. And myself, yep. You have a quorum. And the first thing to do is get the meeting minutes approved. Probably wanna,
Yeah, so the first set of meeting minutes that I'd like to see if we could approve are the ones from August 19th, which Brian distributed prior to our August 26th meeting, or 25th meeting, but we weren't able to go over them because people hadn't had a chance to read them. I haven't received any comments about those. Does anybody have anything to say about them?
I was looking at what we had in front of us. So these were prior to the
They were.
documents for this meeting.
Yeah, they were,
Yeah.
they were postponed to this meeting because.
Just remind us which meeting.
They were in one of Brian's emails to us prior to
Yeah.
the meeting of the
Those are the
25th.
7/22 meeting minutes that we didn't approve on 8/19.
Right.
and so we
7/22.
probably got them on 8/23.
Yeah, 8/23, they were recent though.
Yes.
Really long. Long.
No, I was
Yeah,
good to
yeah,
approve them on
March.
8/22, or 8/19, but I was good to approve them then, but
Yeah, yeah.
there wasn't any, others hadn't read it yet, so. I still, motion to approve the meeting minutes from the 7/22.
I second.
Right, so roll call, Adam?
Aye.
Judy?
Aye.
Alex?
Interesting.
Shane?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Claudia?
Aye.
Warren?
Aye.
So they're on I5, so they're approved unanimously. All right. Yeah. And now for,
And then the minutes of 8:25. Again, I didn't receive any comments about those. Does anybody have any comments?
Yeah,
about
I
those?
just thought,
But yeah, the 722 ones, we didn't get a new set. But the 722 ones, we're gonna have the language added in.
We did
And
add,
that-
we
okay,
did
and
add the
that's right,
language.
'cause
The
the one
language
I
was added
approved, yeah.
in, and then Dwight wanted to change one,
Yeah.
one word. So those have already been, those
Yeah,
are already
got it,
posted.
okay. You had mine.
Okay, so 8:25.
yeah, in your, on the second page, in your paragraph 2G, about identifying the stakeholders. I thought there was discussion about adding the license holder. List of
I
stakeholders.
thought what Barney had said was that the license holder would be kept apprised of what was going on during the course of the subcommittee's work. That was what was discussed. So they were not specified as a stakeholder, but they were specifically mentioned as a party who should be kept up to speed, and I think I did.
Yeah, a couple of paragraphs above, I think.
I did say that was, yeah, I did include that.
Alex, which section are you?
I'm on page 2, this
Yeah,
paragraph
so
G, but just the above, I think what he is referring to is Arnold suggests the conversation with the licensee be ongoing. And so I think with the clarification, it should, and be kept apprised of the
okay,
meetings,
so
that would be okay with me.
here. Can you tell me exactly? The conversation be, okay, yes, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, there's a missing word there. Ongoing conversations. So, so it would be, Arnold suggested the conversation with the license, suggests that the licensee be apprised of ongoing conversations during the period in which the Woodward subcommittee meets.
well, Arnold is here, so I think.
Well, what, sorry, I don't remember. I remember the general discussion, and what I would say now is that I think it would actually be good to include the license holder in some of the discussions with the
But we
subcommittee.
didn't say that in the meeting. We can,
You didn't say
They
it
kept
in the,
apprised.
Just be kept apprised.
It'll be an open
Yeah.
meeting.
And
you
we-
didn't say it in the motion itself, right?
No.
yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
wasn't,
Which is
I mean,
fine.
I understand that going back and thinking through this, maybe that's what we should have said, but it isn't what we said. So if we're changing the language, we kind of have to,
Yeah, no, we can have that discussion.
yeah, so, but I can say, I mean, you did bring up the concept of keeping them, apprised.
Apprised.
Okay, so I'll fix, this is 2D needs to be, there's language missing in 2D.
That was my only comment about the minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
I had, and it's a question in the discussion about, no, Woodward in the draft report. It was a point in the file. that's why I'm so confused. Where Warren suggested he's working on another file, and you said about pesticide use, but I believe Warren said it was about growing corn.
You didn't mean Woodward, you meant Foss.
Fuss. Yes. Yes, fuss. Sorry.
I don't think Warren said, Warren, what did you say?
I'm confused by talking about Woodward. What, you have to,
I'm sorry. But
what are we talking about?
we're talking about the Foss Farm report.
You said you plan to submit a new private citizen report on, I wrote herbicide use at Foss Farm. And Chris thinks it was on corn, on growing corn at Foss Farm. And I actually think that you just said you plan to submit a new report and you didn't, having listened to the recording, I think I put in herbicide use because there was a missing subject in that sentence, which was late in the meeting. And maybe you could fill in the blank.
Okay, I don't have the minutes up in front of me, so, and I have to say your transmission is not coming through clear enough, so I'm just gonna not have to answer it unless you want me to go away and look up the minutes and give me the specific page and line.
Yeah, so what is your new report going to be on? The one that you're doing as a citizen?
Okay. I said it at the last meeting and you and Brian both have my email, but the new report, if I can remember my wording, is going to evaluate the suitability or appropriateness of the current agricultural practices at Foss Farm. And here I'll interject what I really mean is the use of pesticides in those practices, to look at the acceptability of those agricultural practices with the town's primary obligation to protect the conservation and outdoor recreation values of the land.
I can put all.
Period,
Yeah.
period. That's sort of my formal purpose.
Since it's gonna be a citizen report in any case, you
Yeah.
could just limit it to
Maybe
review
take off.
agricultural practices.
The appropriateness of
on
the
Foss Farm.
the appropriateness of the current agricultural practices at Foss Farm. Okay?
Yeah. Yep. Okay, thank you, Warren.
Sorry. What number was that?
That was.
C1.
C1.
Hey, for all intents and purposes, if it's a citizen's report, we don't care what it's about. It's filing citizen's report. Right?
Yeah, except my understanding it was about growing corn.
Yeah.
And that was my message that I conveyed to the ag committee.
Mhm.
So I just want to make sure I was accurate.
Is there a motion on the floor to accept those minutes? Not yet.
Sorry, is it 2C?
It was C1.
C1.
Does someone want to make a motion to accept the minutes, or are there any other more changes?
Move to accept the meeting minutes of the date,
825.
8/25.
And then typically you'd say
As
as
amended.
amended in
As
this
amended.
meeting.
Second,
So Warren,
Yes?
Adam?
Aye.
Judy?
Abstain, I was not there.
Alex? Shane?
Aye.
And Chris?
Aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
I say aye, so passes. Okay. All right, now any the next thing is public comment. Sylvia or Sue? Or Barney, I guess, it's your public comment. No, okay,
I'm here about something later, so.
okay. So, liaison reports, I don't think we have any representative from Conscom. AgCom, Chris?
Yeah, there's nothing to report other than, as I said, I did go to last AgCom meeting and we talked about our activities at our meeting. But that's about it. They're working on
Nothing new to report.
nothing.
Okay, there's nobody from ESC, I believe, so select board. Marnie,
Just
do you-
very briefly, which you probably all know, but Conscom did send the select board their decision to withdraw the wetlands bylaw for this town meeting and to put it on for the spring town meeting. And the other thing while we're on town meeting is just that the warrant, we will close the warrant, the select will close the warrant on October.
Bonnie, is there anything you know in the warrant that we should be weighing in on? The next, so at our next
Well-
meeting, I think it should be an agenda item.
Yeah, the MBTA.
Everybody's gonna weigh in.
They also, you know, are having public meetings. I think they have two more.
Yeah,
The other thing that is gonna be on the agenda is the demo delay bylaw that's being sponsored by the Historical Commission.
Is that?
That's gonna be it.
That's also
I don't
being
think so.
delayed, or
Pardon?
that's also being delayed, or that's?
No,
No, the
that will
topic
be
is
on
that
the
it's
town
delayed.
meeting. It'll be on Monday night. Sunday afternoon, it's just the
There's nothing to
MBTA.
worry about this house being on the demo delay.
All right, so I think we're through that. So now on to LSC protocol. So Dwight, though he's not here, did send an update on what he, because we had a question earlier about what he meant down the bottom there. It is not a question and answer time. And so he clarified it, and what it means is that when we have a public comment section like we did, we don't have to necessarily respond. We can if we choose to, but we don't. And that that we can just say, thank you for information, or we can say that we'll maybe address that in a future meeting, like that. So that's why it's not a question and answer period.
I had just a general question
Okay.
about the document. So as it came through to me, this section in black type and then.
Right,
in
so,
red, and so I didn't know
no,
where that comes from.
so the red was Dwight's changes,
I see.
right, so. Does anybody else have any comment? Just,
there was a section in there where he, was alluding to the fact that we should respond publicly to public comment. And I think that may have been to one of my comments regarding the Foss Farm report, that we made a public appeal for comments in that, I give my experience about, if you request comments publicly, then you should answer those comments publicly. And I was really, my experience is with the Administrative Procedures Act, so as a federal employee, I would have to do that, but I understand there's nothing requiring us to do that, but it was more in line with what's the right thing to do, make a public comment. So I don't disagree with, what he's written, but I just think, what's required and what's appropriate is two different things. I think to the greatest extent possible, we should be addressing public concerns.
For anybody that doesn't know, Dwight was a former chair of LSC, so he's pretty experienced, so if he has ideas, you know, take that with a grain of salt.
Okay, so the fact that we are not obliged to respond to all comments or questions doesn't mean that we can't.
Right, is
And
that the chairs?
as the person who actually transcribes what we do, I can say that it is our habit as a group to be as forthcoming as we possibly can be. So I think that Dwight's point may be that in the interest of saving time, we sometimes don't have.
Well, I think the question and answer thing was just about adding a section on public comment. We tend to seem to add for each topic a section. We take public comment. So I think this might be something that's not necessarily the comment might be not part of something we have in the agenda, like Sylvia's planning to address something later on. So she didn't comment during the public comment part.
I would think as far as the land stewards commenting on the public comment, you might not have all the information yet to provide the comment on the public comment.
Yeah.
So you might want to put it on a future agenda.
Yeah, to me, those two were very distinct, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
the opening every meeting with public comment. Great, we're hearing, we don't have to respond,
Yeah.
but these are all inputs for us to be considering and deciding well, which should we be addressing or thinking about, right?
Good point.
The conversations on the topics themselves, I think this is to maybe both points that were made, I agree, it's discretion is really the key word, I think, going forward and making sure that there's an appropriateness of where do we need to be seeking input as part of the whole process. And, you know, that I think was probably outside the scope of what Dwight was talking about. Like, of course, we should take input. And of course, we should have the right amount of kind of Q&A in order to really understand the background and the situation. Obligated or not, you know, I hate using those words.
So I'm a little bit late to this conversation, but what's happening here? Are we creating a set of rules or?
Yeah, because we've had some discussions that have gone really long and gotten fairly heated, and so we're trying to get a little bit of limits, because there have been a few times where we're here well past 10 o'clock. We want to try to pin that in a little bit. We're
And
hoping.
Cynthia, I thought the other thing that you were all were looking for was something that you could all agree on about
Right.
how you wanted the LSCP.
Yes. So this was a document to start that conversation. And what I'll do then is sort of take what Dwight said, take what we've discussed right now, and put it into another document and see where it goes.
But I think the public comment at the beginning that you created at the beginning of the meeting and the commentary that we get after specific subjects are easily confused with one another, and we need to figure out how to disentangle the two, because we deal with the two slightly differently.
Yeah, and to give a real example, right? Because again, I don't think this is something I understood from last meeting. We're not voting on this. We don't have to make a motion to approve it, right? This is just guidelines that we agree to follow. I think that distinction is important because I don't want in the middle of a topic that has a lot of interested stakeholders for someone to make the comment, well, according to that conversation or that agreement we made as a committee, we don't have to take input. Like that would really be or we don't have to answer the question. That would be misconstrued, I think, versus the intent of this beginning public comment section.
Yes.
What about a different title instead of public, we'd have public comment at the beginning and then in the other sections, call it public discussion.
Mhm.
Just about.
Yeah.
Or you could say public comment on items not on the agenda. Distinguishing it
The
from-
opening
Yeah,
agenda
open
item.
Public comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, open comments. something that should be on our agenda. It's not.
Um, I guess land use, I don't know, so then we also have the public file access. So it looks like we've gotten finally, something up on the website where we can, so rather than us sending a lot of documents out through email, we'll be able to have a packet that can access, and hopefully everything just gets there.
That was nice.
Yes. And, I think then that will help us make things more public. I don't know if there'll be, what did, Ashley had,
She sent us a rather
Said-
deep document about documents.
yes.
Yeah.
Which, no, I don't. Again, it's what's required and what's appropriate, maybe not, something's easy to do. We shouldn't deliberately make documents difficult to get, right? Drive to town hall, ask somebody to get a document that they don't know where it is, and then can't access it. So I think, and I don't know, is the documents that you sent us publicly available or not?
I don't think yet. I think,
The documents in the packet for
The
two?
packet,
yes.
Yeah, you could go to the website
Site.
and
anybody?
I just did actually, and it, yeah, you go to
Yeah,
LSD.
okay.
Well, you probably access
Chris, I was able to get the document packet
What
too,
tonight?
Today, okay.
but except for meeting minutes that only you had privilege to before, so there's two sets of meeting minutes.
Yeah.
And they should probably be in
That's why I
the packet
couldn't
in
find
the
them.
future.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Is this a Google Drive you're talking about?
No, it's something the well set up on,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
on the website,
Oh,
under the LSC.
So who has authority or the ability
To put stuff
post
in.
documents into,
I think we send them to Noel and then,
who's we?
Brian and I.
So if I would like something to go in the packet, I
Yeah,
send it to
me,
you
and then-
or.
Right.
And
I mean, this just happened. We just got
No,
this
no,
link
I'm-
today, so I'm not totally sure. So I'll work. But that's what was my impression. That, yeah, that
Maybe
we
it's
have to only
something
send
we
them
can,
on.
about adding to the protocol, I'll get that.
Okay,
By the way, I think this is fantastic that you all have now got visibility through the well.
It's nice.
It's really gonna be great for the public and for you all.
I'm not sure why 4B2 is there.
well, you
Are
had.
you trying to file me?
Well, last meeting we had, you were discussing it
Yeah.
and I
I mean,
asked whether, if you wanted to have any specific protocol ideas.
I think the idea that we have an agenda item and I think it will be easier in the long run for minute taking too, is that people put their thoughts together or some, to manage documents versus trying to type out what everybody says. And I just think that, either we attach documents ahead of time to the agenda or we put them in that folder, or if something comes in late. I think the idea was that even though you get a document that's late, if it's part of an agenda item, it's still okay. That's what I got from her message. That if you have an agenda item that we're going to discuss and you have some input in the form of a document, then even though it's been posted, but you can still send it to the chairs.
Mhm.
Still bring it up at the meeting. Or someone from the public could send something in. So I think that addresses my concerns. Like,
Okay.
it shouldn't matter when somebody submits something, we should be able to address it as long as it's an agenda item.
Otherwise, you can sit here at the meeting and read it out loud.
You can read it into the record, which I don't think
Nobody
we
wants
always
to
wanna do.
Right.
My apologies, everybody, but I have to go to the dog hearing downstairs.
That's-
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
supposed to be a joy.
Kind of a dog.
Originally, we were gonna have one that would be really serious tonight, but fortunately they withdrew it, so.
Kind of a dog.
You know, his name is Dexter. We are not supposed to consider the breed, by the way, by statute.
The name also
We're
is.
not allowed to consider the breed, is that interesting? Anyway.
So I have to, for a minute taking, so you're really coming back to an idea that came up last time, which is that a document can be considered in a meeting, even if it doesn't get to the agenda, get to the chair or the vice chair before the agenda is submitted. Which, as I understand it, does happen in other committees, but only in rare or urgent situations.
The point is, the agenda came out, there's an item on the agenda, and this is where we were in a muck, is that there was an item on the agenda, which was Foss Farm. So I sent in my comments and we didn't
Yes.
consider them at the meeting,
Right,
but it was on the agenda.
but that's too personal. I
Well,
want
it's
to,
just-
I want to
it's an
talk about
example.
this more generally. Suppose half a dozen hefty docs come in between,
And it's
Sunday-
certainly possible we couldn't get to them.
you know, it's just, if you leave that door open, you potentially overwhelm our agenda, because our chair and our vice chair can't control the volume of what's going to go on, of what we have to deal with. So I think if we're going to say that it's our policy to let things get onto the agenda basically without going through the sieve of the chair and the vice chair, they have to be somehow special or important.
Oh, well, so chair and vice chair should not be acting as a sieve.
Right.
For public information. Public is entitled to see,
Absolutely.
and the committee members are entitled to see. So I think the point is that if you have something on the agenda for discussion and a relevant document is submitted, the chair is not prohibited from bringing that to the attention of the members. Now, you know, I mean, I don't want to be a spoiler at all, and you guys have done a lot of work that I've not been a part of, so I'm not.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
taking
no, no, so-
information away from the public, I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no,
that
no,
meeting
from
in
board-
those, we
board
don't have to
members.
deal with the public or the board members.
Yeah.
They've just,
So all I wanted,
the allotment per meeting doesn't get too crazy.
Well,
no,
I
no,
guess,
all I wanted to say is, look, the chair, vice chair should not be prohibited from bringing those forward. You know, we can have protocols, but at the end of the day, this body and the chairs particularly have to be able to exercise discretion. And so if it's useful to the discussion that's already on the agenda, it should be considered.
Right.
If it's not, or if it's overwhelming, chairs can say, like, we don't have the time tonight, let's move on.
And I think
Yeah.
we're actually saying the same thing, but we're choosing different words. If the docs come in late, it's
Like-
within the realm of reasonableness for them to be on the agenda, but they don't go on the agenda. It's not,
I mean, I think now they can easily be included into the packet. And So they might be included in the packet in public and available to the public, but they may not get discussed at the meeting.
At the upcoming
Meeting,
meeting.
right.
They will get discussed eventually, but
Not
just,
at the current.
just to keep things
I
from
think-
getting crazy.
I think instead of calling it policy or something, but it's a best practice, obviously, to get things in time for everybody, time to review things. So I don't disagree with that, and I know I submitted a late document, and, but yeah. You know, it's I think, yeah, like you said, it's discretionary.
I think discretionary.
As a secondary committee member, then outside of, chair, if I knew that there was documents coming in, I totally understand that more information came in, more information is gonna help us make better decisions. I think the tail end of what you said was probably the most important, that we may not have time to be able to get to it, but then we're just gonna move the entire topic to the next meeting. We're not gonna say, no, things came in too late to consider, and in the meantime, we're gonna make a decision. We're gonna move the whole thing to the next meeting, and that way, if there is a high volume of information, yes, we allocate time for the next one.
So they can be uploaded to the file and
Yeah.
and discussed if
Mhm.
if they can reasonably be fit into the time.
That's right.
Right, so land use permits. The first one I had there was the Boy Scouts.
It's the Boy Scouts.
It's on,
It was in an email, but not on the,
I think it's on the drive, but it's not an email.
Berlin and Webster. Maybe I
Right.
missed it.
I think,
Is it
I think
Boy
it's on I think it's on the LSC one. I don't even have any of the paperwork.
I brought
The Boy
Berlin's and I
Scouts?
sent them.
That's
to you.
okay.
And also, I'm assuming that we'll end up, going on it. I brought it because we had to have.
Does this say anywhere on it where they are going to, did it say cost anywhere on it?
This is a camping one.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't think.
It doesn't, it could be anywhere in this town.
What is-
Camping
what is the
location
date?
request, whatever site is available after easy access and canoe, but we don't have one,
What is the
so we
date?
can't.
Because we may put
Of
off
the,
the Foss camping, big boys camping.
Oh,
maybe that's back up.
it does 10-5,
10-4.
10-4, 10-5. Big, yeah,
The 10-4, so we,
10-4, 10-5.
so it is sort of crucial.
This is different than the one that was discussed.
It's the
last
same
time, or
one,
is it
but
the
this
same
is now. this
Same
is
one, but-
camping. We said they submitted a general land use permit, and this is an overnight
The
camping permit
camping.
application, which
Right.
doesn't include. It just says whichever site is available that allows for easy access to store canoes and 4 tents.
So,
So is this a local scout troop or?
the Holden.
Whenever, we had a request for camping, whether it was from an adult, which we got, or the scouts, I always went out with them ahead of time to identify the place, because, I really wanted to make sure that the same place wasn't used twice. We wanted to spread it out so that they didn't get shop worn. I'm not, when I would go back, I could barely make out that they left, and the next year I never knew where they were before, because you just, so you always go out so that you're comfortable with where they're going.
Mhm.
Just send somebody out there with them.
I thought Brian was gonna do that.
Yes, he,
It's gonna-
well,
I think he
Ryan
can.
tried to do that and they didn't meet up a right time. They
Okay,
couldn't figure out how to mesh. So,
and I know that the issue is that they had wanted, they want to put canoes into the Concord River, and there's no direct access from
Right.
Foss. So,
So I was
That's
thinking
what they
about
were
that
saying.
on the way here. It is pretty close. If you put it, Mark's got his corn in, right? So,
that
Actually,
they
the
could,
corn in that field is
It's, corn is in, it's in the cell. Right.
Gone.
It's
When I
gonna
say
be-
it's in its silo, or whatever,
Yeah,
wherever you.
Yeah, right. The
He's
field-
harvested, he's harvested.
Yeah.
But we don't own the land at the edge. That's Great Meadows.
Well, there's there's a little lip that goes from Foss Farm down to the river that is CCF land. And, it's where you see cars parked at times and fishermen and stuff, but
By Southfield,
what?
by the Southfield.
That's all to you.
Yeah,
That's
The
not
trip from
ours.
Lowell, that permitted about 2 or 3 years ago, they camped just inside the gates at Foss Farm in the grassy area. There's a little sort of a barrier. Did you put that barrier up to keep people from driving? It's a sort of a wiry barrier.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay, it was just beyond that.
Okay.
And when they were gone, I
Oh,
barely
really?
knew that they'd never been there.
Mhm.
And they bring their own little porta potty. But don't ask what they do with it afterwards.
I mean, no.
But your tomatoes have been great.
That's Mark cows.
So, so I'll start off some discussion, and that is that, I think many people in Carlisle like to support Boy Scouts and
Yeah.
kids having a good experience. And, I think it's unfortunate that so far Brian and the Holden people haven't gotten together, because that was one of my comments recently in the past. So saying, really, they should look at the place and see where they're going to, be doing this, and understand if there's a more sensitive spot and where it is not a more sensitive spot. So I'm not quite sure what to do since that hasn't happened, and it seems like it's rushing forward. I don't know that we're gonna have another meeting before that.
Right.
I mean, a whole LSU meeting. So, I don't know if these people would be willing to move their date, or that kind of thing. So, but I'm just one comment here, so.
But approval subject to,
Right.
That's what I was gonna say,
I think that's very
That's a good way of
reasonable.
saying it.
How many
Yeah.
kids?
8 kids, 2 adults, 8 kids, age 12 to 17.
That's not bad.
So you want to make a motion, Judy?
Do we
Well,
want to
what things do we want to have as subject to?
administrator? Do we ask our conservation administrator to talk to them and pick a suitable site?
I
Do
don't
we
know.
want a committee member to do it?
The committee member, since the new administrator's never been on that site at this moment. So, and has no experience. But, so perhaps, yes, with a committee member or
Okay.
one of the 2 chairs, or what do people think?
So it should meet and choose,
But a committee member and the administrator.
okay,
That'd be good. That's a good way of introducing them to it.
to choose the campsite.
And I asked Sylvia, I think you described last time the camp there was just past the left-hand turn you take in the road.
So you
Right.
go down through the gate and make that right-hand turn to go straight to get to the,
I go in.
I was not good at square dancing either.
past the blazing
I
stars.
don't.
and a left.
If you take the sharp right turn, it would be near where the trail from the parking lot
Oh, I see.
comes out in that sort of grassy area that's right there.
I see.
So the people tramp through that area anyway, and they set up right there. I don't know what they did with their canoes. Maybe there was a vehicle that came along with them anyway for them to park their canoes on overnight. That's a possibility. I don't know. I didn't care about that. I just cared about, and maybe they had it in the parking lot and I just never noticed it.
They weren't canoeing down the river.
Yes, they weren't canoeing, they needed a place to stay,
Yeah.
so they
And
camped
didn't-
there.
They didn't arrive by canoe.
Yeah, they did. But a vehicle probably was following them down by road to pick them up at the end, maybe?
I walked a half mile with my canoe river. A couple weeks ago. I would recommend it.
So,
You value your shoulders.
Is it pragmatic to just give a diagram of the location? I mean, whoever's
Yeah,
most
I think I
appropriate
got- I
with
think I
it,
got
just
it.
give an overhead view and mark an X, say this is where you're allowed to use it. That way we can give them the permit, but give the specificity that's appropriate and move on with it.
Okay.
I'm happy to try to contact with Brian's got a lot on his plate.
I think that,
Okay.
I think that trying to camp on the cornfield itself right now would be
Oh,
almost
that's
fascinating.
icky.
Be a hard-
Painful.
I think he spread manure too,
Yeah.
so.
Right.
Yeah, and, I'm one of the stewards of this
Okay.
firm, so it might be more logical than one of the two chairs and basically on the steward, and I really like the idea of including Megan so that she can get her hands on work.
So,
So, I'm gonna read you what I've written. Somebody is gonna move to grant this permit contingent upon a meeting between one or both of the scout leaders, an LSC member, and the CA to establish a suitable campsite.
So moved.
Well, somebody's like,
Yeah,
all right.
so moved.
Read it, moved it.
I guess I moved.
Yeah.
All right, and you're seconding there.
right, so Warren? Do you approve that the Boy Scouts can
Aye,
camp?
aye,
Adam?
Aye.
Judy? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
Shane? Chris?
I,
Claudia?
Aye.
Say aye?
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
It, a lot of you are new. It was the Land Stewardship Committee that came up with our rules on camping. Years ago. We've gotten a lot of requests over the years that the commission just simply denied, finally decided, you know.
that set of rules available for them.
It's on the web. It's on the
Regular,
web.
but, set of rules.
Yeah.
And then, next one is the Webster cameras. So that's cameras that,
So I
was
think,
Mhm.
I think that the first time we saw it, it was confusing.
Do we know how many cameras are
How
where?
many and
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
and she didn't print it out, so I don't remember the number of cameras, but she said specifically, that the cameras are gonna be moving anyway. Okay, so, if permit says how many cameras, somebody can spit it out, but,
1 to 3, want me to read that?
Yes.
It says 1 to 3 per parcel. And then a parcel size and ecological diversity.
yes.
And the parcels are, this is what my, what's that? Benfield, Russell, Twin Peaks, Greystone, Lane CR, and Buttrick CR.
Conservation.
Yeah, restrictions.
Right, but are those our lanes? Or-
Yeah.
We hold a conservation restriction up there, actual conservation lane.
The, where?
Lane and
Buttrick, Greystone Lane and Buttrick.
Greystone Lane.
Greystone, oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
Buttrick. Those are both
Greystone.
properties.
What part of
Embarrassing, I
Greystone?
can't tell you all.
What part of?
Well, she didn't have a map, but I
She
guess
just said-
she'd be open to anything we said.
Well, it's conservation land that
Greystone.
has a CR on it that was held by somebody.
Greystone Cross.
Buttrick.
Buttrick.
Buttrick is a.
So if it has a
That's
CR on
Those one
it,
as well.
What?
if it has a CR on it, can we issue this kind of permit for it?
I don't see any reason why not. I mean, it's,
Versus like
Unless it was.
actual conservation land.
Unless it was restricted.
That's
it
that
is,
line.
it is actual conservation land, but it
Yeah.
has a double blanket, so to
Yeah.
speak, on it. That's, the grantee's job is to make sure that the Conservation Commission is maintaining
Okay.
the
Is
land.
the
correctly.
It's like a CCF grantee type of thing.
Usually.
Yeah, in the case of Buttrick, it's the trustees of reservations.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure it's within our jurisdiction. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a.
The important thing is to make sure that the cameras are on the public land and not on any of the private
Yeah,
land.
she says that she will not be recording pedestrians and she will not be recording private land.
Buttrick doesn't have a trail.
Right.
Mhm.
But you could be, Buttrick, you
Yeah.
can easily get people's yards,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to be-
And then she says, that she'll have a little sign on the cameras.
Right.
Okay, and so originally we had talked about having a sign in the parking lot saying his cameras are in use, and then she said absolutely not, because that gets people to consider coming off of the trail, trying to find the cameras, and we don't want that. We're trying to minimize human disturbance to wildlife, and
But the issue with Buttrick is because it doesn't have a trail, the residents aren't used to people wandering up behind the houses.
Actually, that is a really good point. There is no, we have to give her special permission to
Yes.
go on to Buttrick.
yes.
Because really nobody should be going on to Buttrick except.
It's public land, but it
But
just
there's-
doesn't have any trail, so people aren't used to it.
But she's happy.
Public access.
It doesn't have.
No,
It's
it's a wildlife border.
yeah, it does, it has two.
You don't have to trespass to get there.
No, it has two footprints on Concord Road.
Right.
But, you can't tell when you're on Buttrick versus somebody's private land. They're very narrow strips on either side.
So she probably has all trails.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
And there have been some violations of that property as well on both sides, so, but they're not the kind of, someone just walking up with two. That's a violation.
Yeah.
I mean, we're approving placement of cameras.
Right.
Not approving her trespass or anything else.
What was the list again?
Russell, Benfield, Twin Peaks, Greystone Lane, Buttrick, and then she's gonna put two, cameras on Greeno. Somewhere on Greeno, probably adjacent to the wildlife refuge, because she's interested in wildlife movement between those two parcels.
In all of this, she will report what she sees.
Is, what's she looking for?
Bobcats.
What?
Bobcats.
She says there's an increase recently in bobcats, and
Right.
she'd like to report on that. And she's kind of in a group of people that are really interested in supporting more wildlife, knowing about more wildlife.
Is any of those over near the state park?
I couldn't hear you.
No, none of it is near the state park.
Because I had a report of one a number of years ago from a property that was over abutting the state park.
A report of what?
A bobcat.
Okay.
Oh, I've had a bobcat.
I had three,
Yeah, we had one in our neighborhood recently.
and the mother and. two
Anyone
grown-
want to make a motion to
children.
approve? Anyone want to make a motion to approve this?
I'll move to approve the placement of wildlife cameras
How about
as
if we-
applied.
why don't we- Yeah, just.
The approval of the permit.
Second.
Warren, approval of the cameras?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Judy? Aye. Adam? Alex?
Aye.
Shane?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Claudia?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Right, so the last one is Kay Hurley's.
We all know Kickboxer, but no care.
She's been doing the mushroom,
Yeah.
she's
Is it
approved
the mushroom?
well, mushroom pictures.
That was, she's doing, yes, thanks to you. But
She wants to
this is
collect
different.
things.
This is about lichens. Okay, and she noticed that there were a very unusual, not necessarily rare, but unusual lichen exposed because the water in the middle of Toll is gone, you know, it's all dry. And so things were exposed that she had never seen before. So in order to really determine what it is and see if, you know, should add this to the list of species found at Toll, she needs to go and find it again and take a small clipping and bring it into Arboretum and have them identify it. So that's what she's doing.
And the date is 9/9, which can't be correct.
That's the date that
That
she
she applied.
submitted this.
She's gonna
And
do
it
it in
says
month of
somewhere in
September.
September because, you know, like a couple days ago, she was up in Vermont. Right now, she's in Maine. So she asked for the month. Yeah. Hopefully before it rains.
So this isn't her Fox Hill.
Was that
This isn't her
No.
Fox Hill.
Toll?
Is this another one that was in the packet but not email this month?
No, I think it was on. the
Nope, it was,
Okay.
it's in the packet.
No, I know, but it's a packet but not emailed, right?
No, it was emailed. The Boy Scout one was the one that was never got emailed.
Which,
This is the Hurley collection, Hurley Toll
And it-
collection.
LUP,
The second email.
LUP
Thanks.
Hurley Toll Collection.
I move to grant this land use request.
Second.
Warren,
Aye.
thank you. Adam,
abstain.
Judy,
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
Jane.
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Claudia.
Aye.
Suki, aye.
Great. So we just need 2 signatures. And Adam would, oh, that's for you abstained. So I will sign. I will sign, that would be lovely. Just all we need is 2.
Stuart,
Done.
All right, now we're on to the Woodward property. So the subcommittee is going to be meeting this Thursday. First time it's just an organizational one because we've been told by the town clerk, we have to get it under a quorum amount. So right now we have 6, which makes it an LSC quorum. And she emailed us today that we needed to get it below the quorum amount. So I don't know if you'll be grasping the straws or doing rock, paper, scissors. Endeavor to find it out. But you guys will be meeting on Thursday. I don't even know where.
7
so
here.
The 7th, it's gonna be here. And you're at Hyper, I think.
I'm in it, yep. So right now it's listed or posted as
As
a
an LSC
LSC meeting about Woodward Subcommittee.
Yes,
So it's legal, right, 6. And then everybody has to discuss certain things.
yes.
I don't know what the certain things. I think he sent them out, but
He also sent a message that he could get sworn in.
oh, yes.
Right, but that's after, I guess it now has to happen after the meeting
Right, well,
because,
because we're not taking any votes at the meeting.
right, yeah. It's just an organizational meeting and that one.
So can you vote and close?
Hmm?
Can you vote to open and close?
Open,
I
close.
guess if you're an actual
we're gonna
meeting,
open
did it.
it.
We're-
It's
it's-
LSC, right?
LSC, right, it's an official LSC meeting to establish the subcommittee. So
So if we're meeting,
So Claudia and I can Alex can attend. Oh, no, you're on the committee. Most of you are on the. Just Claudia and I are the ones who are not on the committee. So we could attend if we wanted.
so if you're,
I think you can hold the 10.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, anybody can attend, yeah.
so I was gonna bring up putting the license holder, but if we're meeting as LSC on Thursday,
Yeah.
then we can discuss that then. Yeah.
Right,
We're making the license holder a stakeholder.
yeah, that's a good point.
We can discuss that on Thursday.
So we are discussing on Thursday or no?
No,
I'm not
you-
clear on that.
Organization.
You can, it's for organizational purposes, but you're technically, if you're all there, you're a meeting.
Yeah, if
So
have
you
6 of
can, you can carry on LSC business and you can decide that you're going to change the stakeholders to include the ones that we have mentioned before, plus the licensee.
Mhm.
But be careful what you wish for.
I wanna get it over with, it's what I wish for.
Okay.
So, and then the next
Parking?
thing was parking, but, we didn't have any input for that, so we will just skip over it for now, because that'll probably be addressed in the subcommittee. Right, then the Cranberry Bog developments. So the Bog House, would be nice if Barney could still be here, but we're not fast enough. And, so from what I know of it is that they are, looking at it to have up to 8 bedrooms, 2, 3 units, some organization of up to 8 bedrooms. And I think the septic did pass. But they have to still determine which they perked, I guess, at 2 places. But each place has a little bit of complication.
Wish they'd move the bike rack to where it's useful. They moved it out of the way, so you have to walk over the test pit in order to get to it. You move it on the other side. I learned years ago not to walk on recently built backfill
No,
test
because
pit.
it's, thanks.
You can sink up to your knees.
So,
Something
all right,
that's easily moved.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't do it, but.
I'd like to add something, Susan.
okay,
As you know, one of our last meetings, it was 2 meetings ago, we approved a land use permit for Alex Carasolis to, assess all the plants in the bog, all the plants on either side of the trails, but nothing in the woods, okay? So she started, and the first place she started was, I'm not gonna know it has an appropriate term, but let's just say it's the closest part of the bog to the side of the bog house, okay? It's,
so just as you come in,
excuse me?
so just as you, near the gate on that side or this,
No, it's, if you're staring at the bog house, there's a little drive to the right,
yeah,
And the
okay?
gate.
okay, yeah, that's
And
near the
the
gate.
The gate.
And the gate,
Yeah.
okay, so it's
So
the
right
bog
there.
part closest to that.
Okay,
And that's where she started, and she's doing all quadrants of the whole area. And in that one area, she found a plant, not 100% yet, but she believes it's very rare. Okay, so, I mean, this is the person working with the state botanist. And, she mentioned it to me. She said, you know, kind of keep it quiet, but I think that all of us should know that there's the potential if we're gonna be, you know, hearing about what wrong stuff is gonna happen. We need to kind of have a clue about that, but it's not gonna be known for a little bit because it has to go to the
Official.
state botanist and be confirmed and all that, so. But she was pretty excited.
Yeah.
I almost could hear her.
And
Who is this?
Her name is Alex Carasolis.
And what does she do? I'm sorry, I just don't know.
I can tell you a lot about her.
Well, no, just give me a
I'll
synopsis.
tell you a little bit, okay, and that is that, she is on an INF list. And I noticed her because she had so many observations of interesting creatures in Carlisle. So I sent her a note. And I said, how about we get together and walk across? You can see some of the strange creatures that I was not prepared for a 15-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
This person was amazing, okay? And so that was a bunch of years ago, okay? She's in college, but all the states hire her, probably not for pay, to do all this stuff because she is brilliant. Okay, she is, the state botanist said I would hire her, except I can't with legal laws. Okay, so she's really kind of an interesting person. I'm in awe of her. Because, you know, I was 15, I was not doing that kind of stuff, so. Anyway, now she's in her 20s, but, that's who she is.
Judy, is there a chance that this very rare plant is located in a place that is, that abuts the bog house?
I don't, it's in the bog.
It's in the box.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the bog. I don't think, I don't
Not on
know what's
It's not in the
plan,
plan, right?
okay, but
the new sandy area.
it's,
Yeah, the
it's,
sand covered
it
bog.
was not
So
always
she hopped
super
over somehow
sandy.
though.
Okay.
Those when Mark had more or less renovated before.
Right, yeah.
Last
Yeah,
pitch
that
ever
was-
collapsed.
That was this next. Okay. So next is Cranberry Bog Dam number 1. And so we got a proposal, didn't know who wrote. From the Conscom.
Yeah.
The beaver
The
management.
beaver management
That's me.
memo. So you're CC'd on it, but you
Well,
wrote it too.
I wrote it because the chair asked me to.
Okay,
When I was the so-called consultant.
Yeah.
As many of you know, the Cranberry Bog Dam number 1 had a lodge on it in 2022. I worked with the Dr. Waddles from Mass Fisheries and Wildlife on what to do about that, because none of the laws having to do with beavers address lodges. They just all address flow devices
oh,
and dams. And he said that he'd give Carlisle permission to remove the lodge, which is illegal on a dam that is under the jurisdiction of the Office of Dam Safety. So we have here a catch-22. One says, don't move it, the other one says, move it. And they're both laws. So that, the beaver in that case managed to pass away by other means. And so we ended up not trapping it, and he gave us permission to remove the lodge. And last summer, in walking across the dam to show it to Ryan McLean, because he wanted to see it, walked across and I saw a new lodge, and my heart sunk when I saw that, because just didn't want to go through that again. We had found somebody who was willing to trap, but we found previously, but didn't need to use him because the beaver passed away. Fast forward a few months and I was sort of out of commission. This came up in a CONSCOM meeting in the spring. I was asked by the chair of the commission to talk to Dr. Waddles again to find out what to do, because this lodge was still there. And there hadn't been any opportunity to do anything about it or traffic. There wasn't much water in the pond either for trapping. So I did get in touch with him, and he said, in order to give permission to remove the lodge, we would have to, 1, remove beaver, and 2, provide him with a beaver management plan for going forward. So I asked around and couldn't find a beaver person willing to trap, because beavers, especially soaking wet ones, are too heavy to carry all the way from the dam out to the road. And the main trapper that is working downstream and nearby said no, and he had said no prior to that anyway. So I looked around for beaver management plans, and there weren't any other than what was in Billerica. And Billerica has a pretty phenomenal beaver management program, but it didn't fit dealing with the lodges. So at any rate, after much thought, I put together this document. The first page is just a synopsis, really, or history of what's been going on. And the next part after that is a plan that involves finding a beaver trapper, and we do now have one. a lodge remover, and we have that in the same one. And, we just have to find the money for that. And but before we do anything, or anything is done, the commission had to go through the process of approving the plan that I came up with, which includes monitoring out to the Cranberry Bog #1 dam is repaired. And that monitoring, we could certainly hire somebody to take a walk along that, or we could have members of the commission, the land stewards, and Friends of the Bog agree to do some monitoring so that as soon as lodge activity is seen, it gets reported. This would be in the future. And as one person has said, well, when you start seeing just a few sticks gathering, can you pick them up and move them aside? I don't know, but I would hope that after repeated efforts on the part of a beaver to build a lodge and it gets torn apart every time, maybe they'll get this.
Well, then we'll stop.
Yeah, I mean, they won't stop, I know, but anyway. The feeling was the commission approved this plan. And I felt, and they agreed, that it should go to you folks to see if you're willing to do some of the monitoring.
Well, I mean, I think it's stewardship, but
Yeah.
there's lots that go along with stewardship, so I didn't see any problem with the, you know, being a steward and a volunteer. It kind of puts me in double jeopardy,
Yeah.
I suppose. But yeah, I think, you know, that has to be done. I'm sorry I didn't catch it earlier. I guess maybe we could have stopped them from continuing to build, but once they started, they built, and as the water dropped,
They have a little
they
tunnel
built
left,
a
yeah.
tunnel right onto the water.
Yeah.
That's fine, that's called their, there's a name for it. But what, if you do it
Well, they
every
put,
lodge has one of
they
those.
put a little food source up there
Yes,
too.
it is their
The
food source,
cache.
yeah.
They put a cache up there as well. Yeah, I think the part of the plan that monitors afterwards is something that would be in the land stewards. Seems like it's in the name. Like they're
And I
land
think,
stewards.
yeah, and I think it's possible. I
Um,
think between
you know, I guess,
Probably members of Conscom and us, just keeping an eye out.
right,
Yeah, I mean, it's, I also think I included just the public to put a notice on the board and everyone brief the board. You know, it's really too bad this has happened. It's really too bad. My heart sunk when I saw it last summer.
Does, are we sure that the last beaver house was a fatality, or was the beaver ever found?
Yes,
Or would they
yeah, it was.
abandon- Did they abandon the house?
Yeah, the DPW went out there to cut the phragmites that was there so that it could get treated. That was the first year it was treated. And they found a dead beaver there, right there.
But-
Coyotes could have gotten it,
Right.
you know. Couple of
I'm
dogs.
wondering if the house will be abandoned, just lack of water right now. So there's a couple of things going on over there that may be related. And we can get to that, but maybe we want to finish the beaver discussion first. Because I think there's a reason that Cranberry Bog #1 doesn't hold water. And I think I found that reason, and it's not just the rain. Because Fisk Street Pond is holding water and we haven't had rain.
And it's a newish dam. This street is,
Right.
as opposed to Cranberry Bog #1 is old.
Probably also part of the reason why the beavers like to build their lodge there.
Well, they would tend to abandon it if they couldn't get to the water, right? If you walk along the dam and look out into the water,
Mhm.
they had created a swim lane, basically, like chewing a hole in the ground, basically, to get to the deeper water. And even that little swim lane that's about to dry up.
Huh.
So, you know, at some point, I think sensible people go look for more water. But last year, there was something that happened that was odd in that we got a lot of water at once. My theory was that the beavers in the lodge went tore down the other beavers' dam to get some more. But that's just my working theory.
The dam, bog dam number one leaks.
Yeah.
Right, but,
Right. That's
I don't know.
the fundamental problem, is it's not really holding the water back.
Well, there's a pipe through it.
Yes, there is that too.
You mean the water risers?
No,
There's a,
The pipe in the corner.
it's
a
in the
pipe.
corner.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, the pipe is really small and it stops draining. It's very close to the surface.
is it,
Yes, it's very close to the surface on the upstream side, so that as soon as the water drops, that pipe stops. It's
But
not
there are
explaining.
probably other leaks.
Yeah, I found it. But, more on the beavers, Julie sent us the letter for tonight's discussion as well.
Right.
Petitioning us not to kill the beavers.
Not now.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if there's the premise that we can't repair the dam till the beavers are gone. I mean, ultimately, the beavers have to be gone at some point off of the dam. That, but, and I think there may be a way just to discourage them in the spring and get them out of there. You know, I think we may not solve the beaver problem before we have to repair the dam. It's to me, it's kind of critical right now. That and I'll test these. I printed out 5 here amongst yourselves, the 3 photographs. Think, okay, can we just combine
Yeah.
sort of these 2 things,
Yeah.
because I think they're related.
Well, it's one of the things, more sinkholes is
Yeah, the sinkhole.
part of the discussion.
And I'll
I've
put
seen
up.
them all, so I don't know that I need to.
Can you let me, I don't know if you've seen them both.
Isn't the person in the sinkhole?
No, that's Wayne, that's our town administrator, town moderator.
Moderator.
Can you let me share my screen?
Is this the one
Um,
that's the closest to the little?
Where do we do that?
Hey, so you know how to let me share, oh, wait a minute, I might just be able to share, hang on.
Oh, yep, you're sharing, because you're actually on there. Yep.
Wayne happened to be walking the dog and so I was going over
Yeah.
there and measure. So I asked him to take a little measurement. I'll pull it up on the screen for Warren's benefit. So this first one is the sinkhole on top of the bog. And what I have there
Top
is
of the dam.
top of the dam.
Yeah.
Those 4 feet.
The words are escaping me. tonight,
Yes.
So I'm sorry.
I know that.
It's an 8-foot long pipe and I put a piece of tape in a marker every 6 inches, right? So the tape represents a foot and the magic marker represents a half a foot, another 6 inches. So basically that hole goes down. 4 feet. It's a 4 foot.
Is this one of the holes in the top of the dam?
This is in the top of the dam. I took the cone out for the purpose of. The next picture, okay, this is Wayne. But let me get to the previous one. This picture is at the water level underneath the dam,
On the upstream side.
on the upstream side at the water level. And it's basically, and I don't know if this is the case, but I think this is 5 feet. So that's the 5-foot marker. So it goes in at least 4 feet. And, you know, it's like a foot and 2 feet wide. And this is going underneath.
It's like this all the way along that
No,
upper slope.
No, not at water level. So there are things up above that have some penetrations, but this is right at the water level. And it's undermining
Mhm.
everything that's under it. So this has water getting in there. And, the purpose of the Wayne picture, is that while I was standing in the water, I asked Wayne to stand at the, at the cone. So these two things coincide. This one underneath the dam and the hole in the top of the dam, they kind of meet each other.
It tunnels, yeah.
And I was thinking about it today, and it's almost like, you know, we build a castle, sandcastle at the beach, and a couple waves hit, it just starts crumbling away. And I don't know, it's odd because, you know, over at Fifth Street, I tried to put in a camera pole to hold a camera. I mean, to hold a water level gauge. And I just bent the pole. So I have to go to plan B. I mean, I couldn't get it through the hard packed soil.
Yeah.
And it's all underwater, so it's not like the water that's doing it. So, you know, I don't know if this was the old repair and there was some material that maybe, because I know you get more.
Is it where the cone is at the top? Is it this where the cone is
Yes.
now?
Yes.
So that isn't where the repair was?
It wasn't.
No. Okay, that was one of the things I was looking for. And the repair was on the other side was on the north side, so, west side
Of the 3 foot
of the little,
little.
yeah. So a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4, we had a drought and there was 0 water in that pond except for a couple of little tiny things away from the edge of the, from the upstream slope. And we'd already had a report from that was submitted to the Office of Dam Safety talking about wave action undermining that slope. And also concerns about wildlife burrows, like from, it wasn't beavers, but it was, what's the other one? Like
Muskrats.
Muskrats. So because I could walk all along the edge of what should be water in a pond, but I could keep my feet dry, I walked the entire length of that dam on the upstream side on ground with a pole and stuck it in there every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it goes under. And of course, as each year goes by, often during the winter, that pond fills again because there's no evapotranspiration and everything fills and Hart Pond lets their water out and all that. Every time water gets in there, it's taking out the soil from above that. It's like that slope is melting and it can slump down. We've lost a lot of that slope already. This happens so slowly you don't see it happening, but there's a lot of scalloped edges like this. And in one place, as I was showing Suki, when I happened to run into her, where it was right up to the edge of the walking trail.
Yeah.
And I stuck my pole down and it went down this far. And so, not a good place to ride a horse.
So the trail's closed though now.
Yes.
And Steve Tobin was very good to mow a path on the old horse cart path. Though it's not flat in one section because
I
that's
walked
where it
it.
was.
I was
built.
able to walk it.
You were, okay.
So I think, I know the theory is that the water just evaporates, but I think there should be a new theory that it's leaking through those.
So it
Absolutely.
is, there's one
Yeah.
There's a
section
hole right at the bottom that's just going right through.
right at the
why
horse cart
this
path,
street
there's places
has
always
water.
wet. And that's,
That's
I think.
That street doesn't.
It would be a lot wetter if we weren't in a drought.
Yes.
When you were doing this, you got your pole in on the side in about 4 feet. Did you have any way of testing from the dam? From the other side?
I didn't try. It's not like I'm afraid of snakes, but I didn't actually, I
You
didn't.
might be the guy taking your
I didn't actually think to do that. but-
No, I was just looking
Yeah.
for questions. I mean, it
So-
stops at 4 feet.
So when
That's
I,
one thing.
when I saw
Well, it doesn't actually stop, right? So, like I said, when I tried to hammer in something on the other side, it just bent the hole. When I put it in here, if I put any force on it, it just keeps going. Right, so it's not that it's, it stops right there, it just, my goal wasn't to dig the hole any deeper, but, I just kind of could tell that it was soft soil, like a sand, like it's wet, the wet sandcastle.
is this the hole that's on the top of the dam where the cone is?
Yes, that's
Okay.
why we closed.
So the
closed it up.
interesting thing is, first of all, it slumped down and that was the second hole or slump that I saw. DPW came and filled it. And then I went over it again this past weekend and it had slumped down some more. So it's continuing to undermine there. But this part here, trail is here. So
Yeah,
that anyone,
if you jump on that, pretty good, you'll
yeah,
break it through.
and you could go right down through that again.
Show it across.
And if someone rides across that on their bicycle, they could go right over the handlebars on that.
And the biggest concern now is this filling up again before this is repaired, because I think this is the path where it will go.
So,
I know Hart Pond is gonna drain maybe in October.
It's usually a little bit before October 15.
And what I was suggesting that we do is ask them to pull a couple boards out of the upstream of Fisk Street. We can coordinate that, but make sure we have a place for it to go. Take it to Fisk Street side if we can. Keep the street level.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Sylvia, is this? We could do an emergency repair? Is that gonna need conscom?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What do
so-
you mean by an emergency repair?
Well,
This, getting this whole,
if,
it's
Oh,
gonna.
well, I mean, he's DPW has been filling the holes, but
It's not a question of filling that hole.
He's wants the one in
This
the
hole
water.
at the bottom, the
Oh.
water line.
Yeah,
It's almost that full section, and maybe even somebody who knows this could tell us if maybe it's the wrong material. So, like they need, there's different soil types that compact better than others.
Clay.
So,
clay.
well, there's clay, there's
and
minus,
it's
different size rocks.
It's glacial till.
This might be a dumb question. See a camera over there. Do we actually know that with the dryness, are the beavers actually active?
Well,
Because
this
right now we
is
could
why
just-
this is related, because
Okay.
if it's as low, there's a chance they abandon the
Yeah.
house. Right?
Or we
Go
take-
move
we can
back.
just take out
They
the
move back
road.
with their parents
Well,
upstream. There's a
Well,
number of lot.
This was a lot drier last year at this time than it is now. And that fever built it last summer and it was there all winter. And it built its little thing out to its paddock or wherever. So I think it will stay there. I don't think it's got any place to go.
Well, I don't
15
know.
launches
But
upstream.
is that what that camera's for, to see if he's
No.
there?
No, well, I was gonna try to use it for the water levels.
That's mine. So he's gonna play with it.
isn't there a provision for emergency repair?
Oh, I would think so. I would think so. The question is, do we own up to it to the Office of Dam Safety or we just do it?
Just do it. That's fine. Not get too many people
I will
involved.
send these to Conscom Clark to Lindbergh to Melissa, rather, actually.
Should get to Megan too.
Yeah.
To Megan.
She's working with Ryan on a document to put out to bid once the order of conditions is issued for the repair for Cranberry Bog Dam number 1, which I believe is on the agenda for next week.
But they had. There is wasn't already in order conditions for the,
Yeah, but we have to have a repair because
oh,
it's
the change, the
was it
change,
changed?
so change to
Yeah.
plastic.
That hasn't been signed yet.
So
Did it get
We
signed?
have to have the hearing.
Oh, I found the hearing.
ODS has approved the change.
Okay.
Now it has to go to. Then there's the 10-day appeal period. DEP and anybody else.
Even if that's gonna take a while.
Yep.
So, and by a while, I mean, you'll be in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
So that,
So the beaver might be
Fills
safe till
up.
spring?
my money's
I-
on it going right.
I don't think it's gonna make it through the winter person. That's just fine.
that's why I think you need an emergency order, just for that.
It's this section. I think because the rest of it, I know some of the slope is gone, I don't know, this hole's up high. The rest of it, I don't know, it's that bad. This is the worst piece I've seen.
I was really alarmed when I saw it sunk again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will sink again, they showed up again,
Yeah.
let's sink again.
So
So,
what should be our action?
well, one of the other
action plan for
ancillary
this?
things that I wanted to talk to the board about is clearing off the vegetation.
It has to go.
Because we can't really see, you know, I had to have Wayne put his hands up to be able to see it. Vegetation is supposed to be mowed on,
It's supposed to be grass.
anyway, it's supposed to be low vegetation.
So on
I
both
think
sides
the
or on the
Conscom,
upstream side?
according to Melissa, the Conscom asked that they, and let's see, try to get that done.
Has to be done by hand. You can't take any equipment over that. They'll end up in the pond.
So are we just talking about the upstream side to
Both.
cut the vegetation?
Just the crest of the dam, both sides, I think.
All, the dam itself needs to be cleared. It's not supposed to have any woody vegetation on it.
As a minimum, up until that first, the 3 foot section. Like,
The,
this is on the west, so
it's east and
east,
west,
the
real
east
west.
side, it's on the east side of the small horizon. And like I said, I think it should be done pretty quickly. I think Melissa had the same concern that we do that quickly. I think there's an opportunity to get it done even this weekend. Before the weekend.
So you want to make a motion or? I think
If I'm gonna do it, I probably shouldn't be making a motion. My friends at Bog, or anybody wants to help, is gonna do it.
So I move we approve mowing of the vegetation on dam #1. Like,
Done by Friends of the Bog.
come back,
Whoever we can get.
whoever will do it, friends of the bog.
Invite anybody.
Anybody want to second it? or- Okay, Claudia seconds.
But when we said parent moves the LLC approves, clearing.
The crest.
And it should be the sides as well. It's gonna have to happen anyway to fix the dam. All the vegetation's gotta go.
So make it at least a lot easier to inspect.
Right.
In the section.
So are you just doing,
See what's
you think
going on.
about mowing the whole section or just this part?
I mean, I don't know if I could do the whole section in the weekend, but I could certainly get this area cleared. There's similar.
We'll say
Yeah.
the whole dam.
Yeah.
Okay, Warren, do you approve of mowing the Cranberry Bog Dam #1?
If it has to be done, yes.
Adam?
Aye.
Judy? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
Shane?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Claudia?
Aye.
Suki? Aye. All
I
right,
always feel like I'm the messenger for the bad news.
So just procedurally in terms of an emergency repair, is that something that Megan can file with the commission? I'm just a memory from way
Yeah,
back
there is
when
an
with-
emergency, cert, and the question is what to put in it, and, I mean, she's been there, cause the first day she was on the job, I took her to dam number one. I don't know exactly where that, if that's connected right to the spot where the cone is.
I believe it is.
Yeah, okay,
Kind of in line.
yeah,
That's the
So-
picture of Wayne raising. his hand.
yeah.
Would the LFC ask Megan to prepare an emergency service?
Well, that would be helpful, because it should be at the next conscom meeting for approval, I would think, for countersigning. But my understanding is that Carlisle, conscom is wetlands, land stewards is management.
Yeah.
And this is wetlands and management, but it's mostly, it's a wetlands issue.
No, I
Yeah,
understand that. but
yeah.
Somebody's gonna initiate the process. right?
Yeah.
Well, we can make a motion to ask
Yeah,
Conscom
Pass it
to,
on to a whole citizens. Kind of active in that as well.
yeah, good.
I think they'd spoken at their last meeting, but I think they were looking at the same hole and they didn't see
they're
this.
not on to the emergency.
Right.
order.
Filling it up. I don't think filling that hole up with material is gonna fix this.
No, I agree with you.
You almost have to collapse it. and then-
I think you've got to be able to see it. And you can't with all that vegetation there.
So Chris, I don't know if you were part of the H&H study with the camera?
Oh, yes, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
Is that on there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to get, I don't have it up and running yet, but I did make a prototype. Like I said, I couldn't, I'm going plan B for the tape measure, if you will, that I'm putting in the water part, which will just be a pipe with a large cement block at the bottom, because I can't get it in the material, I couldn't bank it in, basically. I mean, you can get some of them in, but then they're not, I don't
Sturdy
trust them
enough,
to hold the camera. So the idea is the camera will be on one pole. It'll face a measurement stick that's in the water. And on the first one, the one on the Fisk Street side, I'm also gonna have a rain gauge on it. So the picture will take pictures of the water level plus how much rain change we've had. You get 2 inches of rain, you know, it's not something you have to empty out every day. It would go from 2 inches to 4 inches. Then we had 2 inches of rain. But that would be recorded in a series of time-lapse pictures. And according to this camera, it can go once. So, still trying it all out. Hopefully it'll work. The cameras are a little fussy and they have to go. Yeah, I have a camera that I bought, but I won't be able to buy 4 or 5.
I know, I have.
$150.
A camera that could.
It's just a question of whether it will take time.
Time lapse, yeah, and I have.
This
No
one
idea.
takes video, color, and date and timestamps. Takes little like 10-second videos. It's pretty good at, coyotes.
It's gotta do a month of, I was thinking, I'm trying to figure out what the right time lapse is. Maybe it's either 1 hour photographs or 6 hour photographs. If it flashes, maybe 6 hours would be better because nobody wanted flashing all night.
That's true.
And you're planning to do this at this street pond and
The H&H study folks want it in 4 or 5 different places. So I may even, if we get a system that works and we can deploy it, then I may even go and Carl, if Chelmsford want to throw it in there.
We're gonna do over by dam number 1 as well.
Yeah, it's not much worth measuring at the moment.
Right, I was wondering how that was gonna happen.
just
But
scatter.
maybe
the
after-
lot.
After the pond release, there'll be more. Maybe we'll get a hurricane.
Good was
Right.
the optimist.
Yeah, thanks, Sylvia. Thank you.
All right, so on to toll field invasive plants. I don't really know what,
Okay.
I do.
oh, you do, okay.
So the first question is actually taking advantage of Sylvia being here. And last time you were here, you said that Oxbow had been approved to do the work in full, but I am not positive that's actually true. So I need to know if you have spoken to Ryan and there's some sort of,
I haven't, so I missed the meeting, Conscom meeting, one of two in 25 years. That came after that. I don't know where it is. In fact, I was
Okay.
gonna ask you.
okay, then I think I'm up to date.
Okay.
Okay, I just didn't, because I also
Yeah.
missed last
Yeah.
month's meeting.
Are you aware this black locust is growing there now?
Well, there's been black locusts for,
Yeah, but I'm at the little runners they were treated last year. I saw half a dozen or so.
well,
Couple
there
weekends
was like
ago. What?
50 last year.
Yeah, oh,
And
it's a
she
lot
re-
better.
She removed them, yes, and Maddie had wanted us to be discussing Maddie's work.
Oh.
But it's not gonna happen until the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, but, and I don't know why it didn't get on the agenda, but, or maybe it is here.
Okay,
Um,
this,
So the bottom line is that,
That was a big.
toll, we have Maddie doing some work. And then we also investigated somebody else, okay, because Ryan had said specifically, we most likely need to bid it out, all right? So we sniffed around, so there's Oxbow possibly, because they did some work last year. Okay, there's Parterre, would still be a recommend, we need to check them out.
It's not a recommendation, it's just that I've heard of them.
Okay, so, and I heard about them and checked them out. And so Ryan said that they have to, well, LSC has to create a scope of work, okay? And then that's what they would bid on. And the thing is that I don't think there's anybody on LSC that has the knowledge. And so I've asked a couple of people to send me ideas of like, what is a scope of work? For this kind of thing. So we've gathered that. And so we're waiting for the next step, which is, to get that information. Ryan's working on it a little bit. And, we will come to LSC with a scope of work that we refine or accept, that kind of thing. And then we bid it out because October is a good time to treat some of the Canadian thistle. Canadian thistle is one of the very worst possible invasive plants there is. So that's the plan. So right now, we're not doing anything. This is just an update.
Yeah.
Waiting to collect information. Ryan from Parterre, from Oxbow, from Maddie's not involved because she won't use chemicals. The question for LSC has to ponder until the next meeting is what Oxbow did last year. I believe was the phosphate in the fall, and they would do Frecklepier in the spring, although they didn't do anything in the spring. So, I just have to make sure it's that order, okay? And the reason is glyphosate works better in the fall. Glyphosate, some people think is safe. Frecklepier, some people think is safe. So we just have to gather it all and bring it all to everybody. We will ponder and comment. Okay, so right now Shane and I both went out and cut off the tops of the thistles so that the seeds were not running around and spreading. So, and that was recommended by both Oxbow and Parterre as a stopgap measure. So, for anybody who doesn't know about Canadian thistle, when you mow it, it makes it spread 10 times faster. And so until last year, or until a couple years ago, it was mowed several times a year for a quite long time, and it spread to 3 acres. Okay, so 3 acres of toll was covered with this awful aggressive thistle with spines and all, and people couldn't, walk by it without getting spined. So that's why we're going to this effort to kill it. So that's the update.
Um, if that has to go out to bid, I don't think you'll get it done in October.
Well, I double checked with Parterre, just because I haven't been chatting with them. And they said, it's not gonna be a huge problem. We do it starting in the spring.
Hmm.
And we, meaning anybody who
Right,
wanted it.
Great.
Yeah,
What about the Phragmites at the bog?
I thought you took care of that.
No, I haven't done anything. I have nothing.
We voted at the last meeting.
Right.
To continue that work.
Oh,
Yeah.
the last meeting,
Yeah,
Well, that's the
We did, yeah.
meeting.
okay.
And I was
wasn't there.
asked, there were 2 properties, one was on the Creamery Bog.
The other would be Reno probably, but that's something
I don't
different.
think so. It might have.
I think it
No,
was
no,
both,
Phragmites.
you were talking about Oxbow, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Oxbow was the
And then I
one
was,
that's done it in the past.
right, and then I was told that Oxbow does not have the bid. So but I was not there at last meeting, so I'm not quite sure what the details were.
I thought they had contacted someone about they want it done, they want it done. I mean, their bid was quite reasonable.
I know, but
Yeah.
I thought that as long as the bid was under basically 10,000, that, I mean, the cost, that you didn't have to bid, and Ryan corrected me recently. He said, no, they have to be bid. So we can't just take Oxbow. Okay, we have to,
Even though it was under 1,000.
Yeah, it's,
To approve Oxbow contracts to ongoing treatment of the hotel land.
and
Creamery Bog.
here we go, for 2025.
so
I think it was like
approve that.
$850.
We did,
Oxbow, Thistle, and Creamery Bog.
Well, that's fine. I think it's fine, but I'm not positive I believe it came from. I mean, it's fine, LNC says it, but
Somebody brought this to us that,
I think,
again, we should have
Brian
documents,
brought-
right? Did we have my documents?
Brian brought it to us.
right, and how about we just say,
Well, I think we need to check in with
we need
Megan,
to
because it says
double
she's,
check.
she's is aware of the ongoing part of the petition.
And-
No,
And you were at that meeting and you had said that you plan to take, Megan out to see.
Right,
Yeah,
and I was asked actually to take her out, and every time I ask if she can go with me out there, she says, no, I'm too busy. So,
Okay.
So,
Um,
but I was out there myself to try to find the spots for entering it. And one of them was a little too hard for me I went in a certain
you
way,
did,
but I was alone, so I didn't dare go any further. And that's when I found that third safety hole. So I was out there doing that on my own.
I'm happy if you want to, reach out to Ryan and clarify this issue. Okay, if we voted last month,
I
okay,
think it was in
to
our
do it,
package.
is that appropriate? Okay, do we actually have that okay? And do we have to vote a bid? Because it was confusing at first. He had told, when Suki, Brian and I were meeting Megan, he told us, your whole fiscal year 26 has been approved. All the money you asked for 2026 has been approved. But now, I don't know if we have to bid or not.
Wait,
I think-
for the bog,
That's
we asked for quotes from people for that originally. And Oxbow won, and by far. And, I would not have necessarily even thought of them, except I was down at another site that they were working on, and I asked them who they used for invasive plant treatments, and he says, oh, we do it. So, and that's why I even asked them. And they gave us a special bid or quote, because we're the town and not private.
Right, I understand. I think we just have to
Yeah,
double check because it's been funny answers.
But can we take it a step further, which is to authorize Judy to inquire about this, and if a bidding process is required,
Start it.
authorize you to start it.
Okay.
So
So you move that?
I just moved that.
all right,
What's the second
I'll
that?
second that.
yeah,
So
You want,
this was the proposal we voted on from Oxbow. You've seen this. We got on August.
In August,
You see this document,
Right.
this Oxbow document?
yes.
Came from August. You've seen that?
yes, I remember seeing it.
Oh, okay.
funny things,
Yeah.
but I wasn't here last
Right.
meetings.
This, I'm just saying that this is in our package email that we got. You'll
Okay.
find
Right.
what the proposal is and what we voted on. Which we understood was a continuation. of
Yeah,
the
it was a
previous
multi-year contract.
Contract.
that we were moving. We paid on.
I'd like it to be easy and just go yes, but
Right, so
Yes.
take that to Ryan, say,
Yes.
really, do we really have to bid it, or can we take it? Says you
that's
can
all I
take
have
that,
to ask him, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My understanding is at best for something this small, you have to ask 3. You don't have to get bids from 3, you have to ask 3.
Yeah, but
And I did, and I got 2, and one was his for $850, and the other one was several $1,000s for a couple of years or something, and it just, I don't know what that thing is now, but honestly, but,
it's just, I had said that,
yeah.
you know,
Okay.
Maybe he
planning
didn't
on
know
doing
that
it,
we
he
asked
said,
for quotes before.
no, I need to discuss with you.
So,
Okay.
Carol moves that ASPRO confirm with McLean that the Oxbow and toll contracts are in place for 2025, and if they are not, you start work on
bid process.
it'd be work of, yeah, the bid process.
Did you say that Oxbow couldn't do it?
No.
Huh?
No, I'm
you didn't
saying-
say that.
I'm saying that, when we said, Sylvia says that Oxbow will be able to do it this year for last year's bid, he said, oh no, I need bids this year. So that's
Well, we have at least one.
just gonna double check, so. Yeah. We do have more.
Right, so we have to, yeah, so we have to, since we moved, we have to go the roll call. You or Chris did. Right, so Warren, will you vote on allowing Judy to go to Ryan to check on the Oxbow invasive contract and proceed?
Yes,
Okay. Judy?
Aye.
Alex?
Aye.
Jane?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Claudia?
Aye.
And Suki, aye.
Am I supposed to have voted? Because it's about me.
How about you? You're not spraying, are you?
No.
You're gonna have to
Okay.
do something.
So on to the stewards program. So Rhonda,
Suki, I'd like to make a suggestion. I'd like to get from you, Suki, in the sense of the meeting, how long you think we want to go on tonight. If there's a couple issues, if it's a modest amount of time, I'd like to switch the order of the next 2 agenda items, because the stewards program one really means filling out that long table, and we would never even get much of it done tonight, whereas we might make some progress on number 10, the budget issue. But Adam has just left, but I don't mind if we don't mind switching the order of things, starting a discussion on the budget that we have to propose for FY 27. We might be able to get something done, but I can at least outline for you what Adam and I need, and we're running out of time here. If we don't do it tonight, it becomes an emergency for the next meeting to do it, to get information. Essentially, we're at a point where we can't generate numbers. We need people on the land stewards to help us. And the object of what I was hoping to achieve tonight was to have you people identify those people who could help us. So it's up to you. If we want to proceed a little while, I'd prefer to start with the FY 27 budget and see if we can get something done. If not, it all becomes a little more critical at the next month, and it's still doable, but I'd rather not do the stewards program now, which involves filling out that 3 or 4 page table, which evaluates all the actions we've proposed in our last year's report. So I need you to tell me which way to go.
Well, let's go with the budget.
Yeah.
Was the,
And can I share the screen?
I think
the
you can.
stewards program was just the assignments,
Right.
not necessarily the full list of, I thought that would be rather quick, actually.
It's just a couple of new ones, that's all.
Right, so on the agenda, it's just the steward assignments of properties.
Just picking up Rhonda's ones, or
Yeah, and there was,
just people, I don't think we even have to
it's not a
discuss,
3
even
page
if
table,
there's many.
it's just a small table. Go on, but
So why don't we just have people make sure you look at the table, homework, okay?
Oh, which way are we going now?
Well, we're gonna consolidate the stewards program really quick. We're not gonna look at the table, the big table. We're just gonna assign Rhonda's, have people on their own just choose what they want. Look at what Rhonda had and you take which ones you want. We don't care who gets them. So we're done with it. We're done with the stewards assigning of Rhonda's properties.
Oh, okay, yes. With that, with regard to that issue, let me just say that, yes. Alex has given me a list of properties. I've put it into my table. In a month or two, I will send out the updated assignment table. We'll look to see if there need to be some adjustments in December at the end of the year. And I think there will be, because as most of you know, I'm leaving town shortly after that. I mean, I'll be here maybe a month or two, but I'll send out the thing and we can make some adjustments. And also in December, I'll be reminding people about the end of the year reports. And I saw in the agenda for tonight's meeting a couple of requested changes. Those I can do easily, and I will do them, and they will appear in the revised assignment table you'll see in a month or two.
So Chris, you pick what you want. Okay, so on to the budget.
Okay, here's what I want to do. Can everybody see this sheet?
Should we?
Can you make it bigger?
Here?
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay. We don't know the exact date yet, but sometime in December, we'll have to submit the final request. So that's what we're leading for. Adam and I cannot generate the numbers. We know what we had in the last year and a year and a half. But here's what we would like. We would like people to work with individuals in the following, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories, some of which are easy and some of which are hard. And if we do nothing in the next 15 minutes except identify people who can work with Adam and I in these categories, then I would say this was a success for tonight, and we would then go away, and between tonight and the next meeting, Adam and I would work with people to work up a recommended budget and provide a draft budget at the next meeting, I would hope. So can we at least go through this? And I know there'll be some stumbling blocks, but I'd like to at least go through it and see if we can identify people, not numbers, just people.
I'm
So,
willing to
mowing. Is somebody working on identifying a new mower? And somebody willing to take that task to not only identify the mower, but then to maybe mowers plural, getting estimates or quotes and providing us that information along with the qualifications of the individuals. That's pretty much what would be required for the mowing task.
Yes, Warren, I can do that, but you need to know that there's lots of discussion behind the scenes regarding whether it's gonna be a mower or it's gonna be DPW, okay?
Yeah.
But irregardless, I will take both number one and number two, okay? Only I may need a lot of help from other people with the invasive treatment because it's not just about Maddie, okay? It's about doing things properly. And there may be some division of feelings regarding Maddie in all places. I think she's excellent in some places, but it could be, okay? So that's the two we'll take.
Thank you. Thank you.
Try to find others to perhaps help me, but I can take care of that.
So number three, third bullet, cranberry bog is historically because of the wetlands and the special bog work and the other things going on, that has been kept as a separate category in the budget. So other than the things that are already being covered, like the H&H studies or the dam repair with existing budgets, I need somebody to say they will take charge of evaluating what else needs to be done at the cranberry bog. And that might involve interim work on maybe dam repairs before we get to the big dam repair. I don't know, but I need somebody to raise their hand and say they'll put it together to work, or at least work with Adam and I to put it together.
I'd be happy to work on that.
I mean, I can help too.
So who did I hear? And I didn't.
I don't know if I can tell you what they cost, but I think we can work together to figure out what needs to get done.
Good.
So what name should I put down, Chris?
Put Alex and Chris. Put Alex in big letters and me in small letters.
And then we'll play with the font later on.
Okay. We have from prior years, a sort of a standard annual fee of about $1,000 a year for Beaver Solutions to evaluate or maintain the beaver items at Greeno and the bog. And I will maybe check with them and I can update that if that's necessary. So I won't ask for another name.
So Warren, I can help you with that. I can, because I've seen what's going on at Greeno. The folks who repaired the bridge they didn't take out, because we were over there in kayaks, pulling up water chestnut. But some of their stuff is still there and some of it's gone. So, I think I can help you with that, because I think one of the mistakes we've made with the Beaver Solutions, if you will, is that they didn't come with a maintenance plan, and it doesn't matter what you do, beavers are not maintenance free. I mean, you can try to fool them and keep them away from it, but they eventually will work on something and it needs maintenance.
Chris,
So happy to help you.
Chris, they did call and they did go out and they said everything was working fine. Problems not about water right now, I guess, in the pond.
Agree now?
In Reno, yeah.
No, they
It's
took,
really
they
low.
took the gate out. They took the fence out.
They took the fence
The
out?
fences are gone. The
When?
fence is gone. When they did the bridge,
Oh, you're talking about the bridge on Maple Street?
Maple Street, yeah.
Oh, they weren't maintaining that. That was,
That's not.
no,
even-
that they weren't,
That's a different, that wasn't.
DPW was doing that.
That's Beaver Solutions, so I mean, they had
They put the stuff
two
in,
beaver things.
but they weren't maintaining it.
That's
I
not-
understand that,
Yeah.
but somebody took out the fence that Beaver Solutions put in.
Probably DPW.
I understand that. I didn't mean Beaver Solutions. took it
Oh,
out,
okay, all right.
And it's been removed.
But what Warren is talking about is that the contract for Beaver Solutions at Greeno Dam is, I think, around $1,000. I'm not up to date, it may be 100, 1,000, 250, I don't know. Yeah, but they are going out and checking it. But what's under the bridge on Maple Street is more of a DPW thing.
But it's gone. The other thing is at Greeno, is somebody should be, I think there's, part of the order of condition is to put, is part of the H&H study is to see whether we put boards back in.
Mhm.
Or put something
Yeah.
that will accept boards to control the water level better.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we're stewards of that, then maybe we need to consider that in the budget. I don't know if it's already been budgeted. or not.
That,
Looking at money left.
yes, there is, but no, that doesn't need to go in the budget. That's
It's
all
part of the-
part of,
Your grant.
the CPA money. We just have to make sure we get the, I'll talk with you about that.
So let me, I understand one thing that I'm hearing here. Should we include another line item for covering things that the H&H studies may recommend, but is not covered by the cost for the H&H study itself? Should we have a new line item for, that's like trying to look into the future. And I hate to do that because we won't have any backup, not having had a report yet. So is that too tenuous to put in the budget because we'd have to guess?
Yeah, probably premature, I would
Yeah.
say.
I would say so.
And
It's a good question.
what amount would you put? You have no idea what you'd be paying for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of immediate expenditures, the H&H study would affect the repair of dam number 1, which is grant money. What happens down the road, I think is really,
If I find a solution with these time-lapse cameras, would it pay for the time-lapse camera? If anyone was interested. Not mine. I bought that one. I'll
Well,
leave that
mine,
one, but,
mine is
but
10
it's
years
just
old,
for-
you know?
I don't have a lot of hope for the wildlife cameras because they're motion activated.
I think, I was doing that training online. I think there was something in there about if you volunteer your own money before getting it approved,
You-
you volunteer. your money.
I know, I understand that. That's why all my work would be to say, this is what it will cost me. to pull more.
That is required by the H&H set.
Yeah, so maybe it would be.
Why is the grant money for the H&H study not paying for these cameras?
That's a good question.
Well, nobody's asked, right?
Well, it's.
You
Because
need to get
you don't
approval
just ask,
by
you don't even know if it's gonna work.
You
So
need
I
to get,
just wanted to see if it's gonna work.
you need to get approval before you buy
I
something.
understand that. I'm not trying to, like I said, that's my camera. I'm talking about 4 other ones that they're interested in.
All right, next.
We next, this one I think we can ask Julie for, but people know that the Historical Society is gonna redo the cupola into a kiosk at Greeno, and I presume they're gonna leave one side of the kiosk which the LSC could use. We haven't agreed to do it. But this is a minor item. I think the signs that Julie's recently done for Toll and the Cranberry Bog and others are not major expenditures, so I'd like to include a line item for this in case we do have one side of the kiosk to fill. And unless you object, I will ask Julie to give us a reasonable number.
Is, the Historic Society gonna,
Not sure they were aware of leaving us aside.
Well, yeah,
I think they had designs for all four sides.
oh,
I
Sure.
thought we had an agreement
talking about it.
yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll find out.
They were gonna leave us aside.
are they planning on, painting it or anything?
They're gonna rehab the whole thing. They have a carpenter who's gonna do the work, and I presume, yeah, they'll repaint everything.
Okay, if they talk to you, there's always the possibility of Shane, who loves the cupola, doing something with them. Not that I'm volunteering you, but anyway, he's very talented, so.
All right, the next one here, and I don't think we should talk about whether we should do this or not, because I'm gonna put in something in case we need to do some groundwater or soil analyses at Foss. I'm not proposing right now that we should do it, but I want to have the money in a budget in case it becomes necessary. The amount, just to give you a rough feeling, would be on the order of $1,000 to $2,000 for a modest either groundwater sampling program or a modest soil sampling program. And I will put something in there, and when we debate the whole budget table, we can decide if we want to keep it in or not. But it'll be a $1,000 to $2,000 line item. And the final one, Adam and I'll do. We'll just look at the doggy bag and trash invoices and make sure that we have enough in there to cover a slight increase for FY '27. And what I'll do too is, in talking with these people, I'll make sure they understand some of the types of information we'll need, which, as Judy mentioned, for invasives, perhaps a scope of work, same things, the RFP, bidders list, the names of the contractors or vendors and the address, because we need some backup quotes or prices and the billing rates, terms of the work. And usually, by the way, in the last year for Maddie and some of the mowers, meaning I, wrote the actual contracts to give to Ryan. It's not appropriate to ask him to write them unless it's complicated. For the simple ones, we can do it. So I think this is a good start, and thank you. And I'm not going to ask for any more input. I'll work with Adam and with Judy and Alex and Chris and Julie to put together something, hopefully, for next month's meeting. So any questions on this?
No, thanks, Warren.
Nope. Looks good.
Okay.
Can I ask us a different question? Did the Historic Commission provide you with the details of what they're going to do with the steeple? I remember being at the meeting and they were talking about a deck around it and stairs and stuff like that. Do you have any idea what the size of the final thing is going to be? Because I think it would be really.
That was on the drawing. Yeah.
It was just a
sketch.
little sketch,
It was
but
the steps, the
Yeah,
three steps and maybe a foot or two on each step, I think, so maybe
Yeah.
3 feet around it. That's my recollection, but.
The reason I'm asking if it's, the thing's this big, you're putting this much around it, the whole thing starts to get rather large. And it's probably about 30 feet from the edge of the pond, and it's well within the 100-year flood zone. So I was concerned about how much space it was going to be taking up there, and whether it needed to get approval from Conscom. It's there by
They're
accident.
not technically building anything.
Well,
It's just a piece left behind.
It was left behind on a project.
It was already
It was
built and
put
left
there to
behind.
keep it out of the way of the deconstruction of the barn, of the
Yeah.
barn.
Yeah.
To keep it out of the way. So they were thinking at the time that they would put it at a trailhead someplace. They didn't know what they were going to do with it. So it was, it would be good to know what the size is, going to final sizes.
Sure, had a drawing.
Yeah, it may have been a handout, I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
We
would
have handouts and things.
not have anything from it. I know. I do
Yeah, I
remember a
mean,
handout.
They aren't planning on moving it because it's so heavy.
Do you need LSC to approach the historic commission to go to Conscom to discuss this?
Well, would be good, first of all, to see what they're planning. I would think you'd want to know actually what it is they're planning to do.
I think they went to you, actually.
No, they haven't.
They haven't.
Yeah.
Maybe the chairs could reach out.
Yeah.
What's the distance, Sylvia, for, to a wetland, 100 feet?
And
Buffer
this
zone.
buffer zone is 100 feet. There are some things exempt if it's at least 50 feet away. And then it's well within the 100-year flood zone.
Don't forget that they allow houses being built there, so.
Where? They don't put houses in the 100-year flood zone.
But is it near where the barn was to begin with? I mean,
Well, it's sort of on the driveway.
Yeah,
It's-
it's not, it's closer to the pond than the
That
barn
was.
was.
We can just encourage them to come to you.
What?
Like, we can encourage them to come to you if,
I think it would be good in public.
but like, I could have sworn I saw it on your agenda once, recently.
Well, I brought it up at the last Conscom meeting because I was concerned about it, but I don't know if it got on the agenda or not.
Our approval, I think, constituted that we keep it on the land.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
weren't issuing a building permit.
We're not
And that's-
wetlands.
And I think before they probably need to talk to a building inspector with this permit.
So here's the dam. Here's where the barn was here. And I think the people are now sitting right down
Yeah.
about there.
That's
Yeah,
about correct.
and ideally, if it went to where it was before, only didn't have a barn under it, it would be outside of all jurisdictions.
Yes,
Yeah, they got it down.
yeah, I know.
Well, it was a crane.
a big crane, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the folks who
Yeah,
chainsawed it got it down from,
got it down off the stilts, but that was,
Oh, I don't know how they
I
did
don't know
that.
how they did that,
Oh,
but it was.
That was
it an
amazing.
Engineering team.
Do you have any memory of what they did? You were involved with a lot of stuff out there.
or this was recent. This was on, after they took it down, it was about 12 feet high.
Oh, I was
And now it's right on the ground.
very concerned that someone was going to climb on it, it was going to tip over.
You've been up there since they took it down? Lowered it? Seen it lowered?
All right, folks, so
So are we gonna, what did we decide about that? Gonna see,
well, I'm going to try to get the final plan from the cupola, to find out how big it is, how big. I guess. What does the drawing tell us? That would have been, for last,
August.
the August one, yeah. One of the, like, 20 documents or something. It's,
No cupola.
huh?
Yep.
Does it have have the drawing? I think I have the actual drawing at home, but.
We can double check.
It has, but they, they were gonna put the steps.
Right. I thought they had a drawing with the steps all around.
I think that they did, but I'm not sure they sent that to us.
Kiosks. Yeah.
Well, if
it
they've
is.
got
It's
one.
3 feet out,
Do it again.
it's 7 inches, so the steps are 7 inches high. 7-inch riser with an 8-inch step, so it's 3 feet plus 16 inches. So it's
But this is.
3 feet, 16 inches.
What's this?
Around all sides.
Around all sides, 3 feet, 16 inches.
Yeah.
The width of it,
Yeah, I mean, the actual plinth is 3 feet on either side, plus the side,
right, plus the
that's like
sides.
5 feet. So it's-
Yeah, I have that in the previous document. It's, it's about 48 inches. This is 46. Give us the dimension of the whole thing.
It's a 50.
Well, yeah,
Well, they should give it to you. I mean, it's, you
Yeah.
don't need to design it.
no, we haven't. So, I mean,
So it's,
oh, it's, yeah.
so the smallest brim is about 10 feet. And then it gets bigger. It's got those the steps, each of which are 7 inches.
No, the steps at 3 feet. And 2, no, the riser is 7 inches, the
Or 9
landing
inches.
is 9 inches.
Okay.
8
So-
inches.
So 4 feet, 3 feet on either side, that's 10 feet. And then you have,
It's 4 feet.
and 3 feet on either side,
Will be 10, yeah.
that's 10. And then
Is there 10 the
2,
other
and
direction?
then 8 inches and 8 inches, so 32 inches, it's almost another 3 feet. So it's almost 13 feet, the base is, it would be almost 13 feet on the side.
Right, shall we pick our next meeting? In October.
14th, wow.
Funny, easier for me than one.
So who's good for the 14th? Which would people prefer, 14 or 21? How many people can we have 3 or 4 are not here. So. How many here want the 14th?
Doesn't matter which one I have.
Okay. So, I think you got outvoted. I mean, because there's 3, Shane and I don't really care.
I'm definitely
3
out
of
of
the 14th.
town.
Can you make the 14th or is it not?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You don't always need that.
No.
I just speak to it.
No. You filled in on things that I would not have been able to talk about. That was good. All right, well, let's go for the 14th then. You'll all have been able to rest on the previous day,
The Columbus Day
whether it's
weekend.
Columbus or Indigenous Peoples' Day, whichever
Yes.
you prefer.
But that's
We'll have
good.
to
Remember
start
to
out.
post your meeting at least a
Oh,
day
yeah,
early.
so we have to post it on the 8th.
I think it'd be easier to do the 21st.
But Chris won't be here, right? You said you're in Canada, right?
I think I can call in from out of the country. If legal. Probably not.
All right, well, let's go for October 14th. All right. Move to,
Motion to adjourn. I move that we adjourn the meeting
Second.
of September 16th.
great. Okay, Warren, so next meeting is on October 14th.
Like that, I'll be here.
All right, awesome. So we've just adjourned the meeting. Yay. And only half hour over. the total schedule,
You did very well.
without counting 15 minutes of, 20
Zoom time.
minutes of, yeah,
Yeah, we.
fussing around with the Zoom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. No problem, no. All right,
So I usually get these done in the day after or.
but you don't think so?
After that, and then